Welcome, everyone. I'm Tracy Fitzpatrick, and I'll be your moderator today. Thank you so much for joining us here at Netcom Learning, a market leader in promoting lifelong learning, training, and talent development solutions.
We're thrilled to welcome you to today's event, AI Agents and Multimodal AI with Google Cloud. Presenting today's topic is Imran Ahmad. Imran is a seasoned technologist and AWS and Google Cloud authorized instructor, specializing in cloud computing, AI, and algorithm design. Known for simplifying complex concepts, he delivers hands-on, impactful training that empowers professionals to build secure, scalable cloud solutions. His writing and teaching bridge theory with real-world application, enhancing skills in cloud architecture, AI, ML, and DevOps. With a multi-cloud approach and a passion for innovation, Imran mentors learners through certifications and practical adoption strategies, making tech education clear, relevant, and career-focused.
Please bear in mind that this is an overview of a very robust topic. We offer a collection of technical and business courses that can be tailored to your specific requirements. If you are interested in a further discussion, you can make an appointment with our learning consultants through our website at netcomlearning.com. Today's session is also being recorded, so you'll get free access to the recording in the next 24 hours via email. Netcom Learning helps customers build innovative learning organizations by achieving a smarter workforce, adapting to change, and driving growth. We do this with a broad catalog of offerings, developing customized learning plans, and our global delivery capabilities. Since 1998, we have been empowering organizations with our managed learning services to help them reach optimal performance results and address challenges. We do have 9 practice areas in which we specialize. They encompass people, process, and technology training. Today's presentation is from the Cloud Practice Area. Netcom Learning offers a comprehensive training portfolio of courses for the topic being covered today. Our upcoming classes include various trainings on the given courses. You can also access a variety of marketing assets, such as the free training and blogs, by clicking on the available event handout. These offerings can be found with a simple search on our website at netcomlearning.com.
In this masterclass, IT and business leaders will learn practical strategies to design, build, and operationalize AI agents on Google Cloud using Gemini plus Vertex AI, from tool calling and orchestration to retrieval augmented generation (RAG), grounded in your enterprise data. Discover how to leverage Google Cloud SIP's ecosystem to deliver multimodal experiences, implement lightweight evaluation loops for accuracy and cost, and apply guardrails, access controls, and auditability so your agents are secure, compliant, and ready for production in a cloud-first world.
I would like to give you a quick overview of the logistics before we get started. To begin with, you do have the option to view in full screen by clicking on the full screen button on the right side of the GoToWebinar viewer. Simply hit the escape key to exit the full screen. Everyone has been muted except for our presenters. Feel free to submit any questions you have for the presenters here in the questions pane, and we will address them at the end of the session. And to get the best out of today's events, we've included the slides, courses we talk about, and marketing assets in the handout section of your GoToWebinar viewer. You may refer to them at any time to get a better understanding of today's topic. And we do realize that some of you may have to leave early, and want to let you know that as you do leave the session today, you will be presented with a short survey. We would like to request for you to take a quick moment to participate in that survey. Your feedback really helps us understand your learning experience and improve our future sessions for you. The survey answers are measured on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 representing outstanding and 1 representing poor. And now I'd like to pass this over to our trainer to present today's topic.
Hey, Imran, thank you so much for joining us today.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you very much for inviting me. So let's start. So this today's session is on a very important topic and a very relevant one as well that is quite in discuss these days. And this is about AI agent and especially how we can use AI agent with the Google Cloud. So when you use AI agents on Google Cloud, couple of interesting things happen. First of all, AI agents are basically what they are trying to do is that they are trying to mimic human behavior. They are entities with some advanced degree of intelligence. They can make decisions, they can do reasoning, they can independently perform tasks on their own. They are capable of orchestrating a plan, end-to-end plan that can be a recipe of success. So each of the agent that we have, it it operates with a goal in mind. It's goal oriented. It can deal with surprises. It can dynamically change the plan if things don't go according to the initial plan. So all of this needs computing power. It needs reliable infrastructure in dev environment, in test environment, and in prod environment. So when we use Google Cloud essentially provides that infrastructure. It provides that framework that is needed for the algorithm part of it. And Google Cloud is also a perfect fit because the reason is that Google over the years they have you know they have not started working on AI. They have not started working on agents because there was hype around that topic, or you can see that there is a lot of business coming out of it. Google is a company that AI is baked into the initial philosophy. 10 years, 15 years ago, when AI was not the thing, it's one of the thing. Google was still working on that. AI was still the top use case that would be a business enabler for Google. Now, what it means is that over the years, Google has the vertical stack. They have the research, they have the algorithms, they have the infrastructure, they have the frameworks, they have the dev environment, they have the test environment, and they have one of the largest deployment environment there as well. So that completes the stack, and there is no other company that has that depth in the vertical stack. So let's start with this, and that's why this whole topic of AI agent and using multimodal AI with Google Cloud, that becomes quite an interesting topic that we will be covering today. My name is Imran, and my LinkedIn profile is right here. I'm based in Ottawa. I'm a data scientist. I'm working in this area for the last 20-25 years. So agents is a topic that I'm doing a lot of research. I teach at local universities there as well. And this is a topic where we are looking into that how agentic intelligence is as compared to human intelligence. What is the cognitive sophistication of agents? And this particular topic of using agents, especially on Google Cloud, is quite of an interest to me. So welcome everyone, and let's look into the agenda, what we're going to cover. So first of all, we will start with an introduction. So I will ask all of you to think about it, that when you hear the term agent, then what comes to your mind? So AI agent. So what comes to your mind for you? How do you define an AI agent? And then we will enhance your definition with what we think an agent is. Then we will look into specifics of Google, that how Google provides solutions to create those agents in the dev environment, and how Google thinks that there are three different ways of using agents. So we'll talk about this as well. And we'll also look into essentially that what are the capabilities of agents when you use in multimodal environment. It means that they can process text, they can process images, they can process just like we as human beings, we have five senses. So we first perceive, uh, then we understand that, and then we take an action. So these three steps of perceiving, reasoning, and action, that is what we say that is agentic cognitive loop. So that creates a loop. Three steps: perception, reasoning, and action. And the fourth one is learn. So take an action, and if you have a capacity to learn as well, so that your next loop, next perception, reasoning, and action loop, it evolves over time. Then you have an attribute of intelligence. Intelligence is that don't do that in a static way. Perceive, reason, and action, but do that in a way that you are able to take the feedback from there as well, and try to learn from that. So we'll see that what capabilities are there when we talk about agents. We will look into and I will give you some demos there as well. I prepared some demos that you will see during the session, that how these agents actually work. And we'll also look into the security and governance, especially for three different verticals, three different sectors: healthcare, financials, and government. So these three sectors, healthcare, financials, and government, are the ones where, due to the regulatory requirements, you need to make sure that whatever you are doing, that is secure, and it's within the governance framework of your chosen area. And then we will look into some real world use cases as well. Now, let's start with that. What is AI agent? And I asked you to think about it, that what are agents? And let's now discuss that. So agents are, uh, first of all, the first capability of agent of being there interactive. So it means that it's not that it's some sort of a batch process that you submit a job, it takes that away, works on that for a couple hours, and come back. So agents are interactive partners. So it means that they can take part of the requirements, start working on that, and then take feedback from you that how we are performing, and adjust the plan accordingly. And we are talking about complex questions, complex tasks, and those complex tasks needs to be divided into some simpler tasks. At this point, I want you to think that what are the complex tasks that come to your mind when you want that agentic intelligence. Okay, the second part is that they go beyond the simple chatbot to give autonomous assistance. So what is meant by that is that chatbot, they are scripted in a way. Yes, you can have a large language model there, but if it's up to the large language model generation capabilities that how it responds. They are incapable of bringing, discovering, and using a new tool that becomes available. So if while problem solving, there is a new tool that becomes available, can they use it or not? It's like I'm driving from here to downtown, and this is the fastest path. And there was the main route. There was construction that was going on, or there was an accident, and now that path becomes available. Am I capable to change my plan and modify in a way that I go towards a shorter route that was not available when we planned for it? Can we do we have that dynamic planning where we can change the plan as new information becomes available? And they can reason, plan, and take action. This is the third one. Now, reasoning means that reasoning is without action. This is about what we think in our head when we do reasoning. We have a problem, we try to come up with a chain of thought that how we are going to resolve it. So we think about it. So that is called reasoning. Then we plan and then we take action. So this is in a way, this is human intelligence, and that is also part of, at least the effort is, at least the hope is, that agents are able to mimic that as well. And finally, integration with tools and system is what make these agents capable and enhanced. So more tools you can bring to the system, agents can have more capacity to use it. It's like your manager comes to you and wants you to solve a problem. So the more tools that you have in your disposal, you have a subscription to uh, 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 some videos, technical videos. You have as a library at your disposal. You have some technical journals there. So more tools that you have, more capable you have with the same intelligence. So it means that and finally, what they can do is that they can do that in a reliable way, reliable and dependable way. So these are agents, these are AI agents. Now, these are all the objectives, goals, expectations. So this is the what part of the equation. There are always two parts of the equation: what needs to be done, what are the expectations, and then comes the how part, that how actually that is achieved. So these are essentially the what part of the equation, our expectation from the agents, but this is not actually the way we may or may not be able to meet all of these criteria. That's why there are different classes of agents. All agents are not equally capable. Some agents, they will meet all these requirements. They can reason, they can plan, they can take action in an autonomous way. They can fully integrate with the tools. They can totally replace chatbots. They can be fully interactive. So they are, we call it as level 5 agents, but there will be agents that will show some of the capabilities. It means that they can do tool selection. They can perhaps reason, plan, and work with minimal intervention, but they may not be the one that can solve very complex problems. So all agents are not the same. They are different levels of agent, different in terms of sophistication. So it's there are shades of gray. It's not black and white that your AI solution will be agentic in nature or not. It's not black and white. There may be something that will be in the middle. So now, if you look into what we mean by that, we said that AI agents, they are interactive partners. And what is meant by that is that uh, there is when just like a human, let's say that there is a person working on a problem that you had. Let's say that you had an issue with the shower in your washroom. There's a plumber. You call a plumber. Plumber is there. Plumber is working. So you would prefer that plumber interacts with you. That as you say, okay, why don't you fix it? The person suggests that, okay, let's bring a new faucet, or or a new pipe for it. So that is that faucet or pipe is arranged, started fixing it, and that the plumber finds out that there is an issue with the leak somewhere else as well. And now you have to take a decision that do you want to fix that as well. You say, okay, let's go ahead and do that. Then the plumber finds that that is fixed, and that may not be that of an issue. There's an issue somewhere else. So that interactive nature of solving the problem is and the capacity to change the plan timeline, that is one of the fundamental requirements of solving a complex problem. You cannot think it through all the permutation and combination at the start. You have to start with the part of the problem, and then that we have that to have the interactive mode with the stakeholders, so that the solution is evolved in the right direction without going too far with them, on that path, and coming in. If things are not in the right way, you have to come back all the way. So this is something that we would like to avoid. Agents are fully capable because they are interactive partner, and this is one of the important characteristics of these agents. Now, they can deliver personalized and adaptive responses. Adaptive according to the situation, adaptive according to the surprises that you get. So agent was supposed to use web search, and the web is down. So can it basically navigate its way to come up with a solution or not? It has to deliver something, and it has to come up with the best path ahead. Now, if you look into the data there, so as the data says, it says it all. It's a big number, 33%, as much as 33% of enterprise systems. That's the number that they say that they will incorporate AI agents by 2026. That's just next year. So we are not talking about AI. AI is already there. People are using AI in different predictive and generative, in all dimensions we are using it. Agentic AI, where you have an entity capable of using, discovering tools around it, we are talking about that. And 33% means that 1/3 of the enterprise, they will incorporate that in one way or the other. It's a big number. Now, when we use agents have the capacity to make decisions as well. They are called action-oriented agents. So if an agent can fetch you the information, that is information retrieval agent. It's not changing anything. It's just bringing you information. This is if you are doing research. Let's say you are writing a paper on large language models, and you want to do research. Agent can do that. It can fetch information through the PDFs that you have given it. It can summarize it for you. It can go through even YouTube videos, summarize the concepts from there for you. It can do it all, but it won't take an action. This is called information retrieval agent. So these 33%, the number that is on the first bullet, all of them are not action agents. But second bullet says that 15% of AI agents will automate daily work decisions. They can take actions. A little less than half of them, they're action oriented. It means that they can take intelligent actions based on their cognitive loop. And cognitive loop we talked about. This is about different steps: perception, reasoning, and once the reasoning is done, taking action and learn. So there are 4 different steps of agentic cognitive loop: perception, reasoning, action, learning, and perceiving again. So you keep on repeating that till you become super intelligent, hopefully. And if you look into main categories, so there are different categories to which these agents belong. So there are sort of 6 main categories based on the current demand. Customers, employee, it can be creative, it can be data, code, and security. Let me explain more. So second last is the code. Now, when we talk about code, now these agents are capable of fully writing the code, and they are capable of replacing a junior software engineer. So it means that they are able to look at the whole repo. They are able to understand that. They are able to look at the business requirements, convert that into testable cases, and then implement that, and then test it again. So they are capable of implementing the complete SLDC, software development lifecycle loop. These are called the code agents. Data agents. Data agents are that they work on data lake, data warehouse. They are able to fetch information for you. They're able to fetch information from 2 or 3 different repositories. When we call about web scraping, web scraping is scraping the web, just like you scrap scrap something to, scraping the web for the relevant data. They're called web scrapers. And so all of this, they are web scraping, information retrieval from data lake, information retrieval from data warehouse, or looking at your own personal data, finding information from videos. These are all data agents. Then comes the creative agents. Now, creativity is the highest level of cognitive sophistication. Being creative is something that we are still doubtful that machines can do that or not. We're not sure that machines are fundamentally capable of doing it or not. So creativity is an attribute of human intelligence. This is the highest attribute of human cognitive sophistication. Someone is creative, it means that we think that person is intelligent, that is capable of coming up with new ideas that are of that person's own. Now, when we talk about creative agents, in order to become creative, it needs to use a variety of tools. This is the most difficult agents, because when you create something, the problem is that there are less of guardrails around that. You cannot have that many guardrails. You cannot say that, okay, create something that is exactly in under these regulations. So it becomes a bit risky whenever we have creativity turned on by AI. And it also means that it doesn't always go with what we want, but creative agents are something that are in entertainment. Music is one example, painting is another example. Then if you look into engaging videos, if you look into the contents that are being created, so these are all the creative agents. Now then comes the security agent. Let me talk about this. Now, cybersecurity is becoming a concern these days. If you're looking at headlines these days, news headlines, you must have noticed that there are large-scale attacks on the government infrastructure all across the globe. And those attacks are becoming more and more sophisticated. And sometimes they are well funded. Sometimes there are thousands of computers that are involved there. The attackers, the bad guys, they also have AI with them. They also have agentic AI with them. They also have cloud computing. There are countries that are sponsoring these attacks across the globe without exception. Now, in this environment, cybersecurity is becoming a concern, because it's not a single hacker who is the bad guy now. There may be a group of talented PhDs in some cases, and using cloud computing, have access to all the modern tools. They are the bad guys, sponsored by the rogue governments. Now, security is becoming all of a sudden. If you have seen that there are some lots of news out of that. This is not a course about cybersecurity, but AI is one way we can protect that. And agents are ones that can protect the attack in two modes: predictive mode or firefighting mode. Predictive mode in security means that the agents can stop the attack before it happens. It can look into the patterns that are emerging, and based on that, it can flag and contain that attack. We call it as in predictive mode. And then going through the cognitive loop, we talked about that agents can perceive, reason, action, and learn. So they will learn from that attack, and they will take an action that change the infrastructure in a way that attack is less likely to happen next time. So it means that agentic AI, when used in security in predictive mode, it is capable of solidifying our defenses, in a loop. So if done in the right way, our infrastructure will converge towards a much better defended system. It brings depth of defense in our infrastructure. So that is basically predictive. The second one is the firefighting mode, and doesn't matter how hard we try. As I mentioned, that these tools, this intelligence, this depth of funding that is unfortunately towards the bad, due to all sorts of reasons. Now the attackers may have all of this as well. So if the attack happens, then AI has capacity that in the firefighting mode that emergency has happened. So they are capable of minimizing, first of all, minimizing the damage. And then once the threat is contained, bringing back system in a stable state as soon as possible. So this is the within the scope. Now, then comes the customer. Now, if you look into the use cases around us, many of them, in fact, a wide majority of them, it involves customer of some sort. So it means that providing services to a customer, providing recommendation to to a customer, or acting as the buying companion, or facilitating a customer in the payment. All of these are, so wide, many use cases, they are customer centric, and all the agents that deal with that vertical, that lies in this one. Then comes the employee. Now, employee agent means that this is the enterprise agent. So when you work in an enterprise, so the use cases that you face is that you want to automate your emails, you want to automate your calendars, you want to make sure that when when you're looking for information, it is accessible. You want to look into the calendar of your teammates as well. And so all of these are enterprise level capabilities, functionalities that you want your AI to handle for you. So these are essentially the agents that can handle them for you, and we call them as employee AI, employee agents. Now, there is a growing adoption across all industries. Agentic AI, due to its potential, because it mimics human problem-solving skills. So across all these 6 main categories, these ones that we have, one common theme that emerges is that the way it solves the problem. And the way it solves the problem is that what happens is that we as human beings, when a problem is given to us, what we do is that let's say that your manager gives you a problem, and she wants you to work on fraud detection, and she wants to meet the deadline of Monday. She wants you to do fraud detection and give the report by the end of Monday. So you as a human being, first subconsciously, you you again go through that cognitive loop. So first of all, it's about perception. You want to understand that what needs to be done. Then you reason. You want to. This is where you create a plan. How that fraud detection report can be generated in a way it's reliable and it meets the deadline as well. Then you do action, and you produce a report, and then you actually learn if something is can be improved as well. But when you're doing action, let's zoom into that part. So what you will do is that subconsciously, you first of all discover that in order to get things done, what set of tools are at my disposal. What tools can I use? And for example, there can be internet, there can be Wikipedia, all of these. You orchestrate a plan, and while you're doing it, if things do not go according to what you thought, you have a capacity to change that as well. So the same problem solving behavior that is mimicked in the agents as well. So now these are the types of the agents: customer, creative, Then there are employee, three of them, they are the ones that are shown here as well. I already talked about that a employee agent on right hand side, it's about productivity, it's about facilitating your the functions that you, or the functionality that you need when you are in a corporate setting. You know, automating emails, discovering when the slot where next meeting can be held. It can also look at your calendar and see that what sort of audience will be interested in your presentation on agents, or all those things, you know. And now these are different types of agents. Now, if you talk about the data science agent, AI agent, let's talk about different verticals. Now, if you now data science is an area where agents have been used right from the start. And the reason for that is that the people who are actually developing agents are usually data science, and they try to experiment on themselves first, their own domain first. That is why if you look into this particular vertical, agents are quite sophisticated. They are already evolved. You know, they are doing a lot, and so they can automate the data pipelines. They can do data processing as the things stand today. They can also do descriptive analytics, quite fast, in fact. They can also perform predictive modeling. So it means that something needs to be predicted. For example, you want to see that whether it will rain tomorrow or not. For that, the predictive machine learning life cycle, that you first gather data, you prepare it, then you choose an algorithm, then you train the model, evaluate it. In the first go, it won't be perfect. You will do some hyperparameter tuning. Then you will prepare it in a different way. Perhaps you will create some new derived fields. The life of a data scientist, you know. Now, if you look into the life of the data scientist, so how much, if you want to replace that with AI agent, so it means that it should be, in order to be to replace that or complement that data scientist, it needs to have the same capabilities of data understanding, data prep, and everything that goes with it. So this is something that is the AI agent. Now, it can also, it's capable of automatically generating reports and visualizations. And you will say, okay, this is we have been doing for a long time, that there are automated processes that can generate reports. What's the big deal? Big deal is that it can automatically, it has the initiative. You know, it is able to sense that what the event has happened. And if, for example, let's say that you copy a file on S3 bucket on AWS, and that starts the ball rolling, there is a model that gets triggered, that do some sort of scoring. That scoring goes to the stakeholders. But if agent takes over, it can, for example, if the model fails for the first time for some reason, or if the scoring is not according to the standard, or if one of the stakeholders is on vacation, the message comes back from the email that this person is on vacation. So can you send the email to this? You know, so the static workflows that used to be there before agents won't handle those permutation combination. They are incapable of reasoning again. You know. They are static orchestrators. They can handle errors. And the way they will handle errors is that they will log, they will generate an alert, or perhaps send an email that, the email or this process was not completed. But they cannot solve a problem that were thrown at them at runtime, and a problem that we could not predict at the dev time. You know, that time we can look at some error handling, and error handling is usually an exception, and we just exit gracefully, but we do not solve the problem, in static workflows. Now, when we use AI in the data science, we are talking about bringing the whole cognitive sophistication of AI to the workflow of machine learning life cycle. It's a big thing. It's a game changer. And for those of you who are working in data science, I will ask you to identify the processes that you think that can be taken over by a workflow. And I would like you to think about that as a data scientist. Can you think that you, in fact, yourself are an intelligent workflow? When a problem requirement is given to you and the data is provided to you, so you yourself act as an intelligent workflow. You orchestrate a plan, and if it doesn't go as you thought, then you change the plan. This is the way a typical data scientist spend hours. I'm a data scientist, so I know. So AI agent is capable of mimicking that behavior. So it means that at least some of that work can be taken over by an AI agent. It is capable of generating reports using this agentic behavior. It means that now you don't have to babysit your orchestrator. If everything is generated, you say, "Oh my God, it's so good." But that this week it is everything was done automatically. Next week, if something was down, then you have to actually roll back and see that what. And this happens to us. My full-time job, there are so many processes we have automated, and we automated a couple of years ago before this agentic workflows were mainstream. Now what happens is that just last week, one of the processes, it actually did not work. So something went wrong, and the report was not generated. So what I did was, what I had to do was that I had to actually roll back everything to a stable state, and I had to manually run the process again. But it did not stop there. When I started running the process again, it took about 6-7 hours. So somehow the orchestrator triggered again. So I was running the manual process, and the orchestrator, static orchestrator, it got triggered, and it was also running again. So they were, instead of one processes, there were two processes were running for report generation and visualization. At the end of those 6-7 hours, it created a mess. And then I have to basically stop everything, restart the servers, and it wasted my whole day. And if you are using orchestration, once in a while, after every 3 weeks or 4 weeks, this happens. Now with agentic workflows, we expect this to be taken care of. And it means that if there are things, as I repeat so many times, that things don't go according to the plan, it is capable of changing decisions on the fly. So now employee productivity, now you can say that, okay, what's the relevance here? So I talked about this, that in corporate environments, so there is an agent that has been introduced by Google that is called Gemini Enterprise. And let me show you what it looks like. So enterprise agent, it is actually, let me go here. And okay, let me demo it here. Let me show you that what I'm talking about here. So if you go to Google Console, as we already know that our single window operation in Google Console, that is Vertex AI. So that does not change. So if you go to Management Console, So all agentic behavior in Google Cloud, first you have to go to Vertex AI. Here's Vertex AI, I enter it. And on left hand side, you will see that there are, as we call them, as different assets. Let me make it bigger so that you can see that as well. And the second group of assets that we have, that is right here, this is all about agents. There's an agent garden, there's an agent engine, there is a RAG engine as well. Then there are two more. Now, let's look into them one by one, and then let's look into the enterprise agent that I was showing you, that what is that's relevance and where that fits in. Let's look into the agent garden. Agent garden is, you can think of this as the app store. If you use iPhone, you must be using app store as well. And when you go to app store, you are just using a pre-built solution. You're not building the car, you're driving the car. You are not building Toyota Corolla. You are just you say, okay, out of these cars, I think Toyota Corolla is good for my budget. Buy it, and you're not interested in building a car, or you want basically to understand that how I can use the car. So here you are not building the agent, you are using the agent. And here you look at, for example, bug tracking. If you are working on, software, and now this is an agent. So what you can do is that it's a fully capable agent that you can just use to get things done. So you will see that where use cases where it can use. It also creates that what sort of tools it has. It can. And it shows you the capability it has. So this is a software bug assistant. Now, if you look into something else here, so these are all the agent garden, different use cases that you have. If you look into e-commerce, again, something that is, now we talked about the employee agent. So this is the employee agent, where it says that this agent can provide tailored product recommendation, and you can use it for, this is this is its capabilities. Each agent, if you go down, it also shows you that what tools it has. It has two tools, a bit simplistic as compared to our previous one. Now if you go back here, now if you look into the there's yeah, this can be chatbot, for example. Now this is okay, this goes there. This is the use case, again, it goes there. If you want to look into the now these are the tools and integrations that we have. Now this is actually agent garden. These are pre-built solutions that are there, and if you select one of the solutions, what you can do is that you can do two things. You can open the agent, or you can open GitHub to see where it's coming from. If you open GitHub, these are all open source. And here you will see the details of the agent, the documentation of that as well, how you can download that, how you can use it, and what steps are needed to fully utilize it. It's open source, and you can how you're going to actually use it. And once you open one of this, actually it takes you to the full repo, and you will see here that how many other agents are right there. We talked about the data science. For a data science agent, you will see if you go down here, so it says that what is the capability of this agent, what it can do, that data science root agent, and the different tasks that you do as a data scientist, how it can mimic that. Data engineering is another one. You will see here that, again, if you go down here, you will see that what it can do. Now, this becomes a very powerful environment of its own. It means that you just go to Agent Garden, and you discover the pre-built solutions out there. So Agent Garden, I would like you to think about as the app store on your iPhone. Just giving you an example that these are pre-built solutions. You're not building the app, you are utilizing the app. You are utilizing the agent. And we'll go towards that if you want to build the agent, how you can do that. I will give you a demo of that. But the runtime, once the agent is built, the runtime environment is called agent engine. This is a runtime environment once you have built the agent within Google ecosystem, or you can also use open source, and this provides you the runtime environment that is there. Now, these are the two examples I wanted to, two assets that I wanted to show you, but there's more to it. So there is, if you heard about Agent Space, Agent Space has recently been renamed to Gemini Enterprise. Gemini Enterprise right there. So if you have access to Cloud Console, you click there. Now, this is a pre-built, when you talk about the employee agent, this is the pre-built agent that is right there. And on left-hand side, you will see that there are different data stores. What is a data store? Data store is the source of data. And let's look into what type of data stores are available. That will actually answer the question. You will see that the data stores are, for example, it can be, these are the ones, but you can be Google Drive, it can be Gmail, it can be Google Calendar, and it can be Jira Cloud, it can be OneDrive, it can be Outlook. Now, I want you to think about this, that if you have these data stores, first of all, you can search on them. To start with, Google search is it's the simple thing. It makes it a data catalog, right? So it creates a catalog of all the data that you have. This is the basic facility. Then there is agentic behavior on it. As soon as you bring up all these data stores here, now let's think about the task that you can do. So let's say that right now there's a webinar that is going on. And let's say that after this webinar, you got excited and you want to have, let's say, a presentation on agents, and you want to create a meeting on Friday with the people in your organization that have shown interest in agents, and they are available on Friday between 1 and 2. So in order to get this done, first of all, someone needs to look at your emails to discover the people who have interacted with you or on your team messages that have shown interest in agents, and then it needs to look into the calendar, organization-wide calendar, to see that which of them are available on Friday, and then it needs to send the email and write the email and send it to you. And if you are the one, you will take the action. We call it as human in the loop. Human in the loop is the term that is used when actually the action is recommended to a human, and the human in the loop takes the action. There's a slight variation of that as well. It's called human on the loop. Human on the loop is the Tesla self-driving car, whose driving is capable of driving on its own, but we recommend that there is a human that is actually, what it's doing is that it's monitoring the process. But if that person chooses to sleep, the Tesla self-driving can still drive. Human on the loop, and we recommend human to monitor the process, although AI is able to do everything on its own. So in the example that I was giving you, that through this employee agent, if the action is to first of all discover the people, look at the schedule, discover the time slot, write be creative and write the email that goes with the agenda of your idea. And before it triggers, it's a good idea that there is human in the loop before sending the email. So you can look at that, preview that, and just send that. Now, this is a task that you can think of. The other possibilities that here comes Thursday, and you want to send the reminder to the people the same event that have not yet responded. So all of these are within the capabilities and capacity of Gemini Enterprise. Gemini Enterprise, a brand new product, used to be called Agent Space, and recently rebranded as Gemini Enterprise, is capable of solving this time consuming repetitive task and taking ownership of it and doing it for you with human on the loop or human in the loop based on your comfort level. You think that, okay, reminder can be done with human on the loop. You get a copy of the email and you can monitor the process, but human in the loop when you send the initial email. Your reminder, what can go wrong? A wrong person will get a reminder, or someone will not get the reminder in the worst case. But it's not that email, it's just a reminder. Hopefully it will, so human on the loop, we can take the risk. But when you send the initial email, we human in the loop is a better option. So based on that, you will strategize and act. But this provides you the capacity and the tools to create these new solutions that are that can scale out, that can automate these workflows, and they are intelligent in nature as well. Now, if we go back and look into the what we were discussing, so now this is basically when this is the reason I talked about the agent employee productivity. So these AI agents, when used in this capacity, they are capable of uh, actually making employees more productive, and not only more productive, but creating actions in an intelligent way that can make the productivity, a collective productivity of the organization. It can take that to just next level. So I think it's time for a break. Let's take a short break, and then we will come back. Okay, enjoy your break.
Sure, we are now going to take a 5-minute break, but before we do that, we are going to launch a quick poll that we want to invite you to participate in. Doing so helps us know how we can better serve you by telling us who might be interested in more information or in taking some additional training. In addition, we have a lot more informative webinars coming up, so please go to netcomlearning.com/webinars in order to register.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's continue from where we left off.
Now, if you look into the research application, so I'm a researcher. This is something that when I was doing masters back in 1998. So we had to go to library. If, for example, you are writing a research paper, so the way we will do that is that we can get actually from our web page in those cases 1998, 1999, we would get the that where those books are or where those journals are, but you have to go to a library, in fact, to find those journals and see that what's there. It was a time consuming process, and just to find those papers, sometimes it will if someone else is using that, you in the library, that was 1998. Then came actually the era where at least everything was digitized. You have access to it, you can use it. But the problem that comes with that is that, first of all, it became almost an information explosion, and the information is all over the place these days. Now there came the tools that are there that can summarize things for you, that can actually point you towards the right resources. Now agents have taken that to next level, because what they can do is that they can consume and synthesize at the same time. And let me explain what is meant by that. So Google search capability, your traditional Google search, can just give you indexes, papers that are written in 2, 3, 5, 10, 100 different ways. You have to dig it through. They can give you the information, but it cannot synthesize them for you. You are looking for, let's say, risk of AI in healthcare. The paper that you have, this is for financial industry, it is relevant, but you have to look at the data and apply that to healthcare. So you have to work on it. You have to think about it. AI agent has the capability to not only do information retrieval, it can, first of all, it can focus on what is there. It can do information retrieval in an agentic way. It can discover the sources that you may not have known. So it can do information retrieval. And whatever is there, it can synthesize, that is information synthesis. It can synthesize that information and present to you in a digestible format, that is semi-digested. So you can focus on the problem that you are trying to solve instead of wasting time in preparing the information. I mentioned in the extreme case 1998, most time I would say in writing a paper, 40 to 50% time was just spent physically going to the library, finding the paper, going from aisle to aisle, finding that right journal, discovering that this is not what you wanted, or finding that your colleague has already taken that, rented that out for a week. You have to wait for a week. You have to contact that person to, can you return it early? Or so it means that there was lots of time that was wasted, that was not productive. Then came the second level, digital age. Now comes the third level, agentic age. So now we can focus on the problem. It makes lives much more interesting. And in all of these use cases, I will like you not to think that you will be replaced by an agent. This is the negative way if we are thinking about this. We are the consumer of agents. Agents are there to help us. They're not there to replace us. Use agents as a tool that can make you 3, 4 times productive. As I just mentioned, that while from physical books to the digitization of that, I found myself to be much more productive. In masters, I spent so much time writing 2 papers. In PhD, I wrote so many more papers, because the time that got wasted in finding those papers was it was definitely some overhead. Now, if I want to write a paper, I almost feel pampered by the technology, and it's an enabler. And it is something that will make all of us more productive as well. Now, when we use these agents can be used in dev environment, they can be used in test environment, they can be used in production environment. And when we use these agent in dev environment, let me show you that what I mean by that. So first thing is that when you want to use these agents, so if you go to your console again, so if on top right hand side, this is the Cloud Shell. If you click Cloud Shell, let's look into that what sort of environment we are talking about. The Cloud Shell takes us here. Cloud Shell is the provisioned Ubuntu machine that comes with every Cloud Console management account. There's not to do with AI, nothing to do with agents. Whenever you go to Google Cloud, this button shows up here. You click and it takes you to this. It's a Ubuntu machine. Now, once you're there, I would like you to bring your IDE, and if you write Cloud Shell, and if you write workspace. Now, this is a newer functionality that sort of managed our favorite VS Code that appears here. It will connect us to this VS Code editor. Right. So this is the VS Code editor. This is where we will develop the code. Right. Now it means that it is connected, and you can connect to now. Once you are there, if you want to go back to the shell, this is the button you will use. So there are 2-3 buttons that you will use. This is where you can go back there. This is where you will, if you want to run any local servers like Jupyter Hub, or they will be run here. Now this becomes your IDE where you will be using those agents. It says here that open terminal, so we can do that. Now what you can do here is that you can install, for example, if you want to use okay, so this is done like this. Yeah. So if you go back here, so if you have installed agent, so you need to write ADK web. ADK is Agent Development Kit. That I will discuss that in a minute. Now, yeah, okay, ADK is not installed, right? So what you need to do is that you need to first install ADK, and then what will happen is that you can actually run that. So for that, what you will do is that you will install the ADK, and it's as simple as you exporting the path. Do that here. And then you just write Python 3. Now this Google ADK, this is Agent Development Kit. And this Agent Development Kit, this is an open source project that Google has. Okay. So what it does is that this is open source and it is not tied to Google. So you can use any large language model. You can also use any orchestrator like LangChain. So it means that Google has decided to make it total open source. So it is used to develop sophisticated agents. Now you are building a car, this is where if your role is a developer role, then what you can do here is that you can actually use this to to develop agents from the scratch. So let me download some agents that we have prepared for you. So let me do that here. So that now this is some agents that are there from the buckets. Okay, so it says that. Okay, so let me first run it and see that how you can run it. Okay, so this is done. Okay, now let's say that whether we can run it ADK. Now, once you run ADK web, what now this is what it's doing is that ADK web server has started. Now, this is actually the kit that is there, the open source kit that is there, that is that you can use in Google Cloud to develop agents. And if you want to actually use it, what you will do is that you will go to web preview, and here you need to change the port to 8000. Once you do that, you will see that this is actually the agent development kit that is right here. So the agents that you have developed, you will right now there is no agents, but if you want to develop agents, you can create a new agent in the builder mode. You click here. So you will basically from here, you will actually do that. So we'll come back to this and we'll see that how these agents you can create and use that. So this agent development kit that we have, this is what you can use to develop agents from the scratch. So we saw that there are two ways you can do that. First, that used to be called agent space. In fact, three ways. One is agent garden. You can use these agents that have been built for you. And I gave you the example that you can think of this as the Apple Store. Agents are already there. You can just use and consume them. And I can give you examples. For example, this bug tracking agent. You don't need to build it. You can use it. The second option is it's in the middle. It's the Gemini Enterprise, used to be called Agent Space. Now here you need to do, you don't have to fundamentally write or create the agent from the start. You don't have to do that. What you have to do is that you have to um, connect it to data stores like your Outlook or your Gmail or your Teams, and then you can do search on that, and it can also do actions that you do in a corporate environment. And if you want to actually do everything from the scratch, then there is this ADK. I showed you that how you can install that in less than 5 minutes. And once you have installed that, then it gives you an IDE that looks like this. And here, what you can do is that this IDE, actually, if you go back here, so this is actually our console. From there, what we did was that I opened this shell, and from that shell, I install ADK. It's an open source project. From where I ran it, once I ran it, it showed up as in here. And here, what you can do is that if any agent is there, it will run, or you can scratch actually, you can start these agents from the beginning. So if you can also, for example, ask Gemini to build your agent. I can say here that create a basic agent for demo. If I do that, now it will give me all the steps that are needed to have that skeleton of an agent. Now that agent needs two things to get started. First of all, data, what data it will be using. The second one is that which tools it will be using. Tools can be a large language model. It can be, for example, web search. It can be ability to search through the SQL database. All of that, what it will do is it will show on your left-hand side. And left-hand side, it also talks about a thing that is called callback. Callbacks are, as agent is running, executing, these are the sync points where you want to call something or want to log something, or want to contact something, or you can have these callbacks before the agent, immediately before the agent runs, or after the agent. You can also have sub agents, So you can have, for example, a large language model agent or a sequential. Large language model is in one of the most important agents. Where it can do is that it is tied to a LLM like Gemini or a Chat GPT. So it means that it has the advanced capability of reasoning and tool selection. You can also have a sequential agent where if you are working on a static workflow and you want to give it agentic behavior, uh, sequential agent will work. Loop agent is that you work in a loop till things get done, but you need to remember that there needs to be an exit condition. Otherwise, it will keep running in the loop. And then there's a parallel agent. Parallel agent is that it can spawn 2, 3, 4 different parallel tasks that can run independent of each other, and the results can be combined. So all these are, if you want to implement them, then what you do is that you go here and you write a command that is called ADK web. And once you write ADK web, it opens this for you, a tool that is fully capable of writing, building an agent from the scratch. Now if now let's so Google basically gives you all the options. If you want to just use the agents that other people have developed, so you will go towards agent garden. If you want to have an enterprise level agent that can do information retrieval or the enterprise level actions, then you will go towards the Gemini Enterprise. And if you want to do everything from the scratch due to more than one reasons, you want full control, you have a customized use case, then ADK is for you. And there you can have any of the plans, and you can have any of the architectures there as well. Now, these are the different ways. This is the full options that are given to you by Google. Now, these are different approaches that you have. So it depends on the higher flexibility to the ease of use. Higher flexibility is where the agent development kit is there, where you can customize every bit, every step of your how you are going to implement that. And these are different ways that you can build the agents. These are the trade-offs that are there between the control and the convenience. You can also build based on the use case requirements, and you can look at the customization needs and take it from there. Now, agents need to interact with tools, and tools are the ones that give agents their sophistication, their capabilities, their capacity. Now you can just implement your logic in a Python function. In that case, your tool will be just a function calling. So it's about, for example, you have an implementation of web search, or you want it to search through the SQL database. So you will build a function that will be a Python function. That function will be called, and that will point towards the required functionality. So that is called your the implementation of tool as a Python function, and based on the decision of your agent, it can call that function. And in that case, you have to do your function calling. You can also use low-level orchestration frameworks instead of using in ADK. Google allows you to use open source orchestrators like LangChain. So this is something that Google fully allows, and if you want, you can use them as well. So, and now ADK actually is not the only framework that is there. This is perhaps one of the most capable these days and one of the most popular ones as well. But there is also something that is called Crew AI. It's called Crew AI because it starts with creating a crew of agents, and then those agents work together towards a common goal. So that is that is primary reason we call it the crew AI. Is fully capable. You can use that as well. LangChain is another one. LangChain is open source, and if you want to use that that orchestrator, that is also possible. Now, if you look into the Gemini Enterprise, I already gave you a demo. This used to be called agents, and this is where you don't have to actually write any code. So that's why we call it as no code solution. So no code solution is that you are developing an agent, but you're not supposed to write any code for it. It's a no code option. And if you have to write a code for it, then uh, the advantage is that you have full control over how you are going to do function calling, how you're going to reason for calling the functions, which tools are available, what architecture is there out of the sequential, parallel, loop, LLM. So you have full control over it. But it also means that you have to work on it. You have to code. You have to do plumbing. You cannot have best of both worlds, unfortunately. Either you will go for a no-code solution where you have to go with the assumptions of the implementer, or you have to implement everything by yourself. So this is the one of the ways that you can start. But this Gemini Enterprise, these are pre-built agents ready to use out of the box on your organizational level use cases. ADK, as I mentioned, I give you a demo as well. The defining feature of ADK is that now multi-agent environment is that when you have an agent, it is capable of calling other agents. Yes, all agents can call tools. That's for a start. That's a good thing. That agents can, for example, call a tool to search the web. No surprises here. Agents are supposed to be called other tools. Tools are what builds the capability in an agent. There is no doubt about it. But if agents are capable of calling other agents, so we call it as multi-agent systems. And as you build multi-agent systems, you also bring additional complexity in the agentic workflows. It becomes more complex. It also increases the point of failures, potential point of failures. Your systems can so you need to have reason. So reason can be, let's say that you call you want to go to New Zealand for vacation. So you just contact the agent. Now, if it's a full-fledged agent, that agent should be capable of looking your schedule. That when you have vacations, it should be able to look at the weather in New Zealand. It should be able to contact the travel agent, and it should be able to make payments for you. And it should be able to keep the feedback loop alive, the human in the loop at all the critical points. And once everything is according, or it should be given you different options there as well. You choose the options, and then as the time passes, it should be able to monitor the process as well, that how that is going, what needs to be. That is the full agentic behavior. Now, in this use case, in this example, in order to contact look at your calendar, look at your vacation schedule, or look at contact the travel agent, look at the financials of part of it, perhaps book the flights, book the hotels. There are other agents that may be involved there as well. If one agent is doing everything, so it may not be as capable of then creating specialized agents that are capable of doing their work in a dependable way. That is the next step. So what we do is, instead of creating one agent that can do all, we choose verticals, either we or it can contact other agents as well. Now, there are two protocols that are used to contact two agents. So two protocols that are, let me correct myself, there are two main protocols that are used to that different entities within an agentic system use to connect each other, contact each other. One is called agent to agent protocol, A to A, agent to agent protocol. Agent to agent protocol is used when two agents in a multi-agent system, they are trying to uh, coordinate. They are trying to come up with a solution that can move forward. That is called A to A, agent to agent protocol. The second protocol that is used is called MCP, Model Context Protocol, MCP. MCP is used to bring any tool. If there's a tool that is there, that tool needs to be added to an agentic workflow into an agentic system. Now, to start with, that needs to have a standard front end. That needs to have a standard interface so that it can be used. So MCP provide that standard plumbing in order for any tool to be added to your agentic system. So keep an eye there. So these two protocols, MCP, model context protocol, this allows you to add any tool to your agent to add its capability. Google has a tool for mapping, for example, that can draw maps. You want to bring that to your agentic workflow. So what you can do is that if that is MCP compliant, you don't have to do anything, just bring that in. The interfaces are standardized and they can talk to each other. You want and you discovered an agent that is, let's say, New Zealand, that can book the hotels. So if that is standard, that follows standard A to A protocol, agent to agent protocol, in that case, you don't need anything else. Those two agents should be able to talk to each other. Now, ADK, if I talked about this, this is user friendly, this is open source, this works great. You can use that to implement multi-agent systems as well. And it is quite capable. It allows you to bring the custom capabilities. It can manage session memory as well, something that is never easy to do. And it can manage the shared artifacts that as well that are critical for multi-agent systems. And what we do is that we start with simple agent, we add tools as we go along. And as we add tools, your agent becomes more capable. If we are building more tools, then we can just implement them. If we are buying additional party tools and they follow MCP protocol, model context protocol, it's very easy that we can just add them. And this becomes plug and play functionality for adding the tools if the tool is following MCP protocol. We can test locally, and then we can actually make it part of our complex workflow. Now, tools in ADK are, they are, as I mentioned, you can implement them yourself, or if they are standard tools, you can just add them to your agentic ecosystem. Now, if we talk about the communication patterns, agent need to communicate to each other for more than one reasons. First reason is that they are trying to solve the same problem. Their goal is the same. They are converging towards the same solution. As they go towards their common goal, they need to share the information. They are, for example, they need to share the state, they need to share the memory. So this coordination is something that is important and that leads towards the success. Now, if you look into the workflow agent, the workflow agent is the one that acts as orchestrator. So we give it a goal. In order to meet that goal, it uses the given resources in a way that we evolve or we converge towards that goal. And now, one thing that is there is that sometimes there may be bottlenecks that may be created in the system. We want to access lots of data from. We are doing web scraping, and that is taking a lot of time. Parallel agents can actually spawn more processes based on situation there. If things are slow, they can just spawn 10, 20, 30 agents or 100 agents or 1,000 agents that are doing web scraping. Once done, they can shrink the pool back to one or two. They have the parallel agents that implements intelligent elasticity in the infrastructure, and it makes everything capable, cost effective, and reliable. And once our solution is created, we have agent engine where you can actually deploy that. Now this agent engine, I showed you briefly, but let me show you here. This agent engine, actually, if you go to your Vertex AI, on left-hand side, this provides you with the runtime environment. So if you go to this agent engine, so the beauty of this is that when you deploy an agent, you can deploy an agent that you natively build in Google, or you can import an agent that is you build in LangChain and open source. That does not matter. So it talks about that what frameworks you can use ADK. You can import the agent that you built in ADK, or you basically an agent that follows the standard agent-to-agent protocol. I gave you the example that in New Zealand there is a hotel booking website. They are using an agent. You want to bring that in yours. You want to use it. If that is an eight-way following agent-to-agent protocol, it's a standard protocol. You can just bring that in. LangChain and LangGraph, they are cousins because they are from the same organization. And Llama Index is one that is a smaller player, but these are different ways. It means that does not, you don't have to create the agent in Google Cloud to use it. You can use Google Cloud as the agent development environment. In that case, you will use ADK, or agent testing environment, or agent runtime. All three of them, or all two of them, or one of them. You can only use ADK to develop the agent and deploy somewhere else. That is possible if that suits your need. You can only use testing. You test the agent here, develop somewhere else, you import test, and then you use somewhere else. Or you develop agent somewhere else and you did use this as the runtime, or you use it end to end. It's up to you. So Google provides you the capacity, the capability to use Google Cloud in one of the three ways: dev, test, or prod. It's up to you how you're going to actually use it. Now, if you go back here, so this is where we are using this in the development mode. Now, evaluating an agent, this is a difficult task to do. So how you're going to quantify it's different than quantifying the intelligence of large language model. Intelligence of large language model, quantifying that, it is just like looking at the ground truth and looking at the responses and fine tuning it. Now, agentic behavior, this is because agentic behavior is more complex. It is about selection of the tools. It's about the selection of the agents. It's about orchestration. It's about reacting to the changing situations. All of those needs to be tested, and it's not an easy thing to do. So ADK, agent evaluation, this is something that needs to be quite comprehensive, and we want to make sure that we are paying attention to the testing and quality. They are not a single way of doing it. We can do a black box testing. In that case, we will have expected behavior and see that what is the actual behavior. So if comparing that will give you some degree of confidence that this is the right agent, then you also need to test its reasoning capacity, reasoning capability. And if things go wrong, you have to come up with the onus of responsibility, that whether that was a faulty tool, a faulty sub-agent, or the main agent. And based on that, you have to think and have to complete the cognitive loop: perception, reasoning, action, and learn. And this is something that we cannot learn without evaluation. So now I've already covered this part, so I will not go there again. Now, agents are the one that can consume the data in more than one forms. It can be pictures, it can be audio, it can generate audio as well. Both at the input and output. So the modern agent, for an agent, different forms of data is just information. can be text, can be picture, can be audio. It is capable of extracting signal out of it, as we call, processing that and using that for data-driven decision making. Now, if you look into the real world use cases, there are different companies that are actually using these agents at in different verticals, different use cases. And the use cases that we are looking at today is, folks, the employee agent. This is something that has already evolved. It is solid. The use cases around that, they have already shown progress. Or now about performance, where agent can discover that what are the bottlenecks in your system. About converting feedback into action. This is another one. And then it's about advertisement compliance. And finally, how they can reduce. I talked about the customer agent, where it can improve the services, it can improve the customer experience, it can provide better recommendation, it can also allow you to engage with the customer in a better way. So these are all the use cases where agentic behavior agents have shown lots of promise, and you will see that these use cases, they kept on evolving. New use cases keep on coming as well. And at this point, multi-agent systems, they are evolving, but there are some technical challenges, especially in terms of reliability. But in 2026, in the beginning of 2026, now due to the next versions of agent-to-agent protocols and the advancements in the way we are creating these agents, it will become dependable. They will be able to learn that how these so this cognitive loop will also be applicable to the agent-to-agent communication. They will keep learning till everything is solid and bulletproof. Now, if you want to start with ADK, this is something that I will recommend. If you want to start that, important thing is that you do not need to be on Google Console to start ADK. This is open source. You can just open your Windows, or you can just open your Mac or Linux, whatever you're using, and Google how to download and install ADK. So you should be able to install it. You should be able to experiment with that. Google is confident that you will use the Google ecosystem, but this is open source. If you choose to use something else, ADK is still a very viable product that can be used to develop multi-agent systems with all variety of tools. And one of the tools can be a large language model, and one of the tool can be Gemini, but there is no restriction. You can use ChatGPT, you can use LangChain. In that case, you use ADK without Google, and that is a possibility. Now, these are the resources and documentation that you will find them really useful to handle that. Now, in this webinar, this is on a very important and topic that is evolving. This is about how agents are transforming the business in real time around us. This is about the tools like ADK. This is about the prepared agents for us, very important vertical like Gemini Enterprise that tackles the use cases around the functions that are needed to an organization. This is about where we go beyond the basics and we talk about multi-agent architectures. And then we also provide some links that can give you a quick start. And I mentioned that this is an area where you can start with ADK without needing Google. If you don't have an account on Google, don't worry, you will still be able to use ADK. It's available on GitHub, and the link is in the chat as well, and you should be able to use it. So that brings me towards the end of this presentation. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Imran. That was incredibly insightful. Now, I know everyone's looking forward to the Q&A session, so go ahead and start putting your questions into the questions panel. And while you do that, I'd like to give the presentation rights over to Ifla, our product marketing person, who's going to introduce you to some of our fantastic promotions and webinar-related courses.
Hi, Thank you, Tracy. Insightful session. I believe everyone must have learned something new today or would have been able to brush up their skills around Google Cloud technology.
Firstly, I'm excited to announce that Netcom Learning is now an authorized training partner for Google Cloud, making us your go-to destination for cloud skilling. With this milestone, we are proud to offer comprehensive training across the three leading cloud technologies globally: Microsoft Azure, AWS Cloud, and now Google Cloud. So, Netcom Learning, is your one stop shop for cloud skilling. I would also quickly like to take you through some of our hand picked resources, which we think will immensely help in accelerating your Google Cloud skilling journey. This document here that I'm presenting has been shared with you all in the handout section of GoToWebinar panel. You can download this document and access all the resources and browse all the offerings we have curated for you. So, first up is the list of our recommended courses, which we feel will best suit your learning journey after attending our masterclass. So, all these courses here are hyperlinked. Feel free to go through them post event and check out the course descriptions and prerequisites and the value it can add to you and your team skill sets. Additionally, we have curated a blend of resources, including our upcoming and on demand events, as well as some informative and educational blogs. So you can make the most of these resources to gain extensive knowledge on the Google Cloud topics they cover. Also, here I would like to inform you that today's masterclass session is being recorded. So, in case you want to refer back to any of the topics that were covered by the trainer today, we'll be sharing the recording link with you through emails, and also you can access the link here on the handout so that you can revisit the session and learn at your own pace. Now, apart from our virtual sessions, you can also catch all the relevant updates related to IT and business training on our social media handles. So please feel free to follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel for all the latest updates. Our official pages and channels are linked here on the icons. Finally, if you have any suggestions regarding the topics you would like us to cover in our upcoming webinars and masterclasses, please don't hesitate to send us a direct message or leave a comment on our social media posts, or you can just simply email us at google@netcomlearning.com. We would definitely try to come up with the sessions on your suggested topics. Thank you once again for joining us today. You guys have a good one. Thank you.
Thanks so much for guiding us through that information, Ifla.
And now we're going to go ahead and jump right into our question and answer session.
The first question is for an organization just starting with AI agents. Would you recommend beginning with the no-code Gemini Enterprise solutions or diving straight into ADK development? What factors should influence that decision?
So I think the main factor is the capacity and capability of the organization. So if they think that they don't have, if they've never used agents before, and they don't have developers that they have those skills, so it's a good idea that start with Gemini, this pre-built solution, and then see that whether there is a need to go towards ADK. So this is what I would say, that it depends on use cases, but more than that, it depends on the capacity of an organization to use and develop ADK in a meaningful way.
The second question is, you mentioned that 33% of enterprise software will incorporate AI agents by 2026. From your experience, what's a realistic timeline to see measurable ROI after implementing AI agents for employee productivity use cases?
Okay, so good news is that it is easy to do, right? So when we look at the cost benefit analysis, ROI, so we look at the three things, three dimensions, as I always call: cost, time, and accuracy. And let me explain that. So after your AI solution that is agentic in nature, your time to do things should become faster. If it would take you to do average of an 1 hour to generate a report, it should take less than that time, 5 minutes perhaps. The second dimension is the cost. It means that yes, there is an initial investment, but the operational expenditure of that should decrease so that you can justify the cost. Yes, there is a capex you have to invest, but the the reduction in opex should justify that. And the third one is accuracy. So ROI is also about whatever you are doing. You are sending the emails to the right people. You are engaging the customer in the right way. All of it is about accuracy in your response, and all these three dimensions will address that whether you are in the right direction or not.
Next question is, when designing a multi-agent system with ADK, how do you decide whether to use hierarchical agents versus parallel agents? Are there specific scenarios where one approach significantly outperforms the other?
Yeah, we'll always like to use parallel agents, but that's not always possible. So sometimes you cannot do one thing without doing other. So if you are in a restaurant, someone needs to uh, cook the pizza before you eat it. So there's a dependency. You cannot cook and eat at the same time. So it needs to be prepared, cooked, and then served, and then you basically eat it. You cannot do these three tasks in parallel. Eating, serving, and preparing it cannot be done in parallel. So same thing is in the workflows as well. There are items where their data needs to be fetched before it can be processed and before it can be used for model training. There is a dependency graph there. On the other hand, if you're doing web scraping, there is no dependency graph there. In that case, you can maximize your parallelism. So wherever there is possible, there is no constraints. Go for parallelism, maximize it. But if there is constraint, then you have to actually at least make part of your workflow sequential in nature.
Last question is, for regulated industries like healthcare or finance, what are the key security considerations when deploying AI agents that access sensitive internal data? How does Gemini Enterprise handle data residency and compliance requirements?
Okay, so the Gemini Enterprise provides you the computing part of it, right? And it allows you to add the data sources. It's up to you how you have applied the authentication, authorization, the principles of security, non-duplication or, data integrity, all those confidentiality on the data sources. If they are managed data sources within Google, then Google's unless you try to turn it off, they are already protected. But it also provides you connectors to other sources as well. So you have to make sure that you apply those principles to the sources that are added to Gemini. Otherwise, it's your system is as strong as your weakest link.
Once again, I want to remind you that as you leave the session today, you will be presented with a short survey. We would like to request for you to help us by taking a quick moment to participate in that survey. Your feedback really helps us understand your learning experience as we are constantly looking at how we can improve our future sessions. The survey answers are measured on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 representing outstanding and 1 representing poor. We want to thank all of you for joining us today, and if you do come up with any additional questions, feel free to send them to webinar@netcomlearning.com at any time. We hope that you found today's webinar informative, and we look forward to seeing you back here with us soon. Feel free to tell your friends and colleagues about our webinars and other courses. Have a great day, everyone.